Imagine living your entire life in captivity where you are locked up. You live in a small cage with a confined amount of space. Every once in a while, you are taken from your cage and brought to an examination room to get your fur shaved off and strange liquids rubbed into your skin that makes your skin burn and potentially bleed. Maybe you are injected with a needle to a part of your body that makes it go numb and you can no longer move. Or maybe they put a substance in your eye and force your eye shut for many days, and when they open your eye, you realize you are visually impaired. Sad, isn't it? Animal experimentation is a common practice used today by scientists. They are procedures performed on living animals for a research purpose. Animal experiments are used to test diseases, cures, new medicinal products, household products, food additives, and industrial chemicals. More than 115 animals worldwide are used in experiments every year. Animals are tested to make sure that they can be safe for humans, but even then, animal biology is different from humans. I believe animal experimentation is the wrong way to do research towards cures and chemicals that can potentially harm human beings and should be stopped. Animal testing should no longer be a way to do research. Many testings used on animals does not correctly predict human reactions. Animal testing is a cruel and an inhumane way to torture animals for mankind's own benefit. Many people are beginning to use cruelty-free products and not tested on animal products. Experiments performed on animals do not reflect how they would be used on humans. Animals have a different DNA sequence than humans do. When scientists do research and experiments on animals and get the results they need to transfer them to humans, they are not always compatible and working when they test them on humans. It is also stated that 92% out of every 100 drugs that passed animal testing failed clinical trials on people. Every year in the United States alone, there are more than 100,000 human deaths, all caused by drugs that were successfully passed by animal testing. Since all that extensive research has failed, it has wasted time that could have been spent using alternative testing, which would be more reliable and accurate for medical research. There are many other ways to do research on cures and chemicals than to do on animals. If scientists spent some of their time finding more efficient ways to do research on cures and chemicals, it could save the lives of many animals, and it takes the time to perfect research done from animals to humans. Humans are moral to one another, but it is morally offensive when they are cruel and inhumane to animals. Animal testing is proven to be a cruel and an inhumane way to torture animals for our own benefit of being harmed by these cures and chemicals. Animals are living beings just like humans, but people seem to think that animals are nothing but mere tools at their disposal. Some things that make it inhumane are force feeding, forced inhalation, food deprivation, prolonged periods of physical restraint, the infliction of burn and other wounds to study the healing process. This is not something anyone would want to experience. Why make the animals experience it? Many people are beginning to take a stand against animal experimentation because they believe it is wrong and they would not want to experience it. Companies that carry cosmetic and hygiene products are beginning to sell and produce cruelty-free products more than ever. Brands like Lush use their anti-animal testing stance as a selling point and to raise awareness. Raising awareness on animal experimentation is very important. There are alternatives that scientists can start using today, and today they can start finding more ways to do research on cures and chemicals than to harm the animals. It is often argued between people with different opinions whether animal experimentation is the correct way to do research. Animal testing does not work on humans. It is a cruel and inhumane way to treat animals, and people are beginning to take a stand and use cruelty-free products. Despite the evidence that it is time for a change, it would be a hard change within the scientific community that has relied on this way for decades as the default method for testing and research that takes time and knowledge. Old habits die hard, and globally there is still a lack of knowledge of and expertise in cutting-edge non-animal techniques. We've all had pets at some point in our lives. Could you stand for that kind of research being done on your pet in the research lab?